Okay. Hey everyone, my subscribers and people who I don't know if anyone really watches these. Basically, as I said in my last video, this one would be talking about a fanfic of mine that I'm writing. Currently, I'm in the process of writing the 8th chapter for those of you who actually have read the fic. Yes, finally the 8th chapter. I know some of you are like, how is it the 8th when there's already 8 up? The prologue does not count. The prologue is 0, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which should add up to 8. Never mind that. Sorry for that. Anyway, I'm sure you all know, off topic, but I'm sure you noticed that I cut my hair before, and I'm sorry, this is only my second video of 2014. So I'm noticing a lot of things. Anyway, on back to the topic of the fic. I am currently working on the 8th chapter. I have it literally the window for the document that I'm writing. I have it. It's just I am online right now, so it might take at least another week for it to be up, which sucks, but it's cool. Anyway, so yes, the fic that I am talking about that I can't seem to shut up about in real life is Gamer Logic. I know what you're thinking. Gamer Logic? How's that a fanfic? Well, here's how. It's a Hetalia fanfic that is inspired partly by the mass number of RPG LPs that I have seen. I say partly because it's complicated. I'm not really doing that well of a job of explaining how it's complicated, but basically, if you've seen Heta Oni, I do tribute Heta Oni in the fic, although y'all don't know that yet. Oops, crap. I didn't really spoil something. It hints at Heta Oni-like elements, and Roma Heta. I pay tribute to that in the prologue, have to kind of explain how the nations end up in the games. How the games they end up in is completely random. Not really, I kind of planned it out like that. Partly. Honestly, for Italy and Germany's game, that one was totally planned from the get-go, that they would end up in Eve. Okay, so the games and the characters. Now, originally I had only planned on there being 12, maybe 13 characters, originally. And then the creative process of writing happened. The characters ended up being the Heta Oni 12 plus Sealand. That was the original plan. It was the Heta Oni 12 and then Sealand. And then you have the unplanned 4, which is Belarus and Hungary. So you have a total of 15 characters that are currently dispersed through several games. Basically the layout of the chapters, each chapter that has occurred so far has been an introductory to the arcs and the order that the arcs will appear in. I know what you're thinking. Will it switch arcs every chapter? No, not until the arc is finished. The only reason it's switched back to the Corpse Party arc. Anyway, here's the arcs in the order so y'all aren't confused. The prologue, which is the prologue. It stands alone. It's its own arc. It's there. It's to show you, hey, this is what they were doing before they ended up in the games and how they ended up in the games. The first arc is Corpse Party. And in that arc, I kind of consider it the main arc. It gives a reason for it being the main arc. And nations, well, the characters involved, as this is a Hetalia fic, the characters involved in this arc are England, France, and Sealand. So you have 3 characters and only one knows what's going on in the game because they have seen LPs. That's where it kind of comes in. And each arc is inspired by LPs, primarily by PewDiePie's and Cry's LPs, as they are divine and the best for it, with the snark and everything. So yeah, that is the first arc with the nations involved. The second arc is actually the one I'm writing the new chapter for, is the Witch's House with China and Japan. There's a reason for that. I actually did plan on it being China and Japan. And that's the second arc. I'm not going to say anything about the arcs yet. Third arc is, God, I can't remember off the top of my head. Basically it's, hang on, crap, this is taking up time in my video, which I am so sorry. I can't name them off the top of my head. Because it's been so long myself since I've seen it. Is Ib, or Eve. I always called it Ib, but it's Eve. The third arc is Eve, and as I said, it has the northern half of Italy and Germany. The fourth arc is none other than The Crooked Man, which is one of my favorite games, and I feel so bad, but nobody really dies depending on the ending you get, and I'm going for the good ending where nobody dies. So, you get America and Canada in The Crooked Man's arc, and I don't know why I chose those two, partly because of Canada, I think, and the storyline of The Crooked Man, and if you haven't seen that, you can check out PewDiePie's and Cry's. Well, I think I have PewDiePie's in a playlist somewhere on my profile. It's accessed for the public. And the fifth arc is Mad Father, and that is the one where the 2 unplanned characters come in. In Mad Father arc, you have Prussia. Yes, Prussia was a country. Russia, Belarus, and Hungary. And they're completely separated from each other in the Mad Father's mansion. They're separated. How they're separated, I can't really quite explain, as even I'm not 100% sure. Like, I know they're Hungary and Belarus are in one of the areas kind of where you have to get past a shit ton of zombies that are evil. And Prussia and Russia, yes, I know the 2 countries, they end up in what is known as Aya's room. And finally, I believe that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th and final arc before it really should go into the main arc, which is the Corpse Party arc, is Missile with Spain and South Italy. And that's how the nations are divided. And I know there's more characters, oddly enough, that are going to be coming in The Witch's House that aren't really there. It has to do with an illusion that is placed, and no, sadly, this does not come up in the most recent chapter. The most recent chapter is pretty much the first part of the video where you have the room. That first room that you kind of enter after the walkway. That room, the one with the bloodstained trap. And then, but I do keep the froggy bit, but I replace the frogs with like a kind of a cheap, kind of like a younger ghosty China, and younger ghosty versions to replace the tadpoles of cheapified nations. So there's a cheapified Kiku, a cheapified Taiwan, a cheapified Hong Kong, and a cheapified South Korea. That is of 3 of the 4 tigers. And those who don't know that, I'll explain. I took up a lot of time talking about a lot of things that were irrelevant and or trying to find things. So hopefully next video there will be more towards gamer logic, but basically gamer logic, Hetalia fanfic of mine, working on chapter 8, and basically it's really good, but there's a fic you have to read of mine in order for the rest of gamer logic future chapters to make sense, because I will reference that fic. It is called While France Disappeared. Basically inspired by the arc or part in Corpse Party that I do include, where that chick, what's her face, Psycho, disappears to put lotion on her thumb, but I replaced it with lotion on the thighs due to running. And yeah, France disappears, and so does Seiko, but you don't know where Seiko ends up. But yeah, so while France disappeared, you need to read that in order for the rest of gamer logic to make sense, because I will reference that in the main arc. Well, I'm gonna be signing off. Probably give a better video tomorrow. Well, bye.